The Austro-Hungarian Empire, a vast and diverse realm that stretched across much of Central Europe, a tapestry of cultures, languages, and a history as rich and complex as any in Europe. It was a melting pot where different ethnicities coexisted, each contributing to the empire's unique cultural mosaic. Yet beneath its gilded surface, tensions simmered. Nationalism, fueled by a yearning for self-determination, strained at the empire's seams. Various ethnic groups began to assert their identities, demanding greater autonomy and recognition. For the Jewish community, long integral to the intellectual and cultural life of the empire, a different kind of storm was brewing. They had thrived in the cosmopolitan cities, contributing significantly to the arts, sciences, and commerce. The winds of change carried with them a chilling premonition of persecution. Anti-Semitic sentiments, once on the fringes, began to gain traction, casting a dark shadow over the future. This is the story of the Habsburg Exodus, a period of immense upheaval that scattered brilliant minds across the globe. As the political climate grew increasingly hostile, many Jewish families made the heart-wrenching decision to leave their homeland in search of safety and opportunity. Among them were scientists, mathematicians, and thinkers who would go on to shape the 20th century in profound ways. Their contributions to various fields would leave an indelible mark on history. Their journey, born of necessity and fueled by a desperate hope, would alter the course of history. These refugees, carrying with them their knowledge and expertise, embarked on a path that would lead to groundbreaking advancements, including the development of the atomic bomb. This exodus, driven by the disintegration of an empire and the rising tide of anti-Semitism, was not merely a displacement of people. It was a seismic shift that would have far-reaching consequences for the world. It was a transfer of knowledge, a diaspora of genius that would have profound implications for the world. These intellectuals, finding new homes in foreign lands, continued their work with renewed vigor and determination. These intellectuals, carrying with them their expertise and driven by a fierce determination, sought refuge in new lands. They adapted to new environments, often overcoming significant challenges to continue their research and contributions. Little did they know, their contributions would soon become instrumental in shaping the outcome of a world war and ushering in the atomic age. Their work, born out of necessity and survival, would change the course of human history, leaving a legacy that continues to resonate to this day. The Austro-Hungarian Empire, a vast and intricate patchwork of ethnicities and languages, was held together by the aging Habsburg dynasty. This dynasty, with its deep roots and long history, had managed to maintain a semblance of unity among the diverse peoples under its rule. For centuries, it had weathered storms of war and revolution, standing resilient against the tides of change that swept across Europe. The empire had seen countless battles and uprisings, yet it had always managed to endure. But by the dawn of the 20th century, the once mighty empire found itself teetering on the precipice. The world was changing rapidly, and the old ways of the Habsburgs were increasingly out of step with the new realities. The seeds of its demise were sown in the very fabric of its existence. The empire's diversity, once a source of strength, had become a source of division. Nationalist sentiments, long suppressed, began to surge through the empire, threatening to tear it apart from within. Nationalist sentiments, long suppressed, began to surge through the empire. These sentiments were not new, but they had been kept in check by the power and influence of the Habsburgs. Now, however, they were becoming impossible to ignore. Czechs, Slovaks, Serbs, Romanians, and others yearned for self-determination, their calls for independence growing louder with each passing year. These groups had their own languages, cultures, and histories, and they were no longer content to be ruled by a distant emperor in Vienna, and others yearned for self-determination, their calls for independence growing louder with each passing year. The leaders of these nationalist movements became increasingly vocal and organized, demanding greater autonomy and, ultimately, full independence. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo in 1914, an event that plunged Europe into the abyss of World War I, served as a fatal blow to the already fractured empire. This single act of violence set off a chain reaction that would lead to the empire's downfall. The war exacerbated existing tensions, exposing the fragility of the empire's unity. The Austro-Hungarian military, once a formidable force, struggled to maintain control as the war dragged on. As defeat loomed on the horizon, the Austro-Hungarian Empire splintered, breaking apart into smaller independent nations. The end of the war brought about a redrawing of the map of Europe, with new countries emerging from the ruins of the old empire. The once grand Habsburg realm was no more, leaving behind a void that would be filled with both hope and uncertainty. The people of the former empire faced an uncertain future as they sought to build new nations from the ashes of the old. For the Jewish community, the empire's collapse brought a new set of challenges. The stability they had known under Habsburg rule was gone, replaced by a volatile and often hostile environment. Anti-Semitism, already a pervasive force, intensified in the wake of the war. The Jewish population, which had been relatively secure under the Habsburgs, now found itself increasingly vulnerable. The Jewish population, often used as scapegoats for the empire's misfortunes, faced increasing discrimination and violence. They were blamed for the empire's defeat and the economic hardships that followed, leading to a rise in anti-Semitic attacks. Their once secure world was crumbling around them, forcing many to seek refuge beyond the borders of their former homeland. Jewish families left behind everything they had known, embarking on uncertain journeys in search of safety and a new beginning. As the Austro-Hungarian Empire dissolved, so too did the sense of security for its Jewish population. The once stable and diverse empire was now a fragmented landscape of uncertainty and fear. The winds of change carried with them the stench of intolerance and the looming threat of persecution. Anti-Semitic sentiments, which had long simmered beneath the surface, now erupted with a frightening intensity. For many Jewish intellectuals, leaving was no longer a matter of choice, but a necessity for survival. The decision to uproot their lives was heart-wrenching, but the alternative was far more perilous. Their exodus led them across the globe, scattering their brilliance like seeds in the wind. These intellectuals carried with them a rich heritage of knowledge, culture, and innovation. Some sought refuge in the United States, a land known for its promise of freedom and opportunity. The Statue of Liberty stood as a beacon of hope, welcoming those yearning to breathe free. Others found haven in Great Britain, drawn by its long tradition of intellectualism and tolerance. The bustling streets of London offered a new beginning, a place where they could rebuild their lives. Still others sought safety in Palestine, then under British control, hoping to build a new life in the ancient homeland of their ancestors. The land of Israel held a deep spiritual significance, a place where they could reconnect with their roots. The journey was fraught with challenges. The paths they took were often perilous, filled with uncertainty and danger at every turn. Leaving behind their homes, their possessions, and often their loved ones, these refugees faced an uncertain future. The pain of separation was profound, but the hope for a safer tomorrow kept them moving forward. Yet, they carried with them something invaluable: their intellect, their skills, and an unwavering determination to contribute to their adopted lands. Their minds were their greatest assets, and they were eager to share their knowledge and talents. Their arrival in new countries was often met with a mix of curiosity and suspicion. The locals were intrigued by these newcomers, yet wary of the differences they brought with them. Language barriers, cultural differences, and the challenges of assimilation presented formidable obstacles. Learning a new language and adapting to unfamiliar customs required immense effort and resilience. Despite these hardships, these Jewish intellectuals persevered, their talents and contributions eventually earning them recognition and respect in their new homes. Their achievements not only enriched their adopted countries, but also stood as a testament to their indomitable spirit and enduring legacy.